Hey guys, and welcome back to the show. So in today's video we are going to be adding the hit detection between our dinosaur and the obstacles around him. So as soon as we collide with a pterodactyl or with one of these cacti, it's going to show the game over screen and give the player the opportunity to restart. Now in order to do this, it's not too much work, so this video shouldn't actually be too long, which is quite nice. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the code and see how to accomplish this goal. So since our last part, I've added some extra sprites. We have the SPR Dino dead, which is quite fun. He's got wide eyes because he's probably in pain. Next, we've got the replay button. Now we're going to make sure that the user can click this button or press enter or space or whatever the key is to, keep going to the action without having to touch his mouse. And then we've just got this SPR game over, which pretty much just tells the user that it is game over. Now for this, what I've made sure is that because this game is small, I'm not too worried about how slow our collision detection is, so I'm just going for precise, which as you can see is quite slow, but that's okay. And so pretty much all our dinosaurs, as well as the cacti and the pterodactyls sprites, will have this kind of collision checking. So let's actually create this replay button first. Object replay. Let's give it the sprite of the replay. Let's say if the user presses enter key, we are going to just do simply game restart. Let's copy that and also say if the user mouse left presses it, same thing. Cool. Now let's actually go ahead and add a collision event between our dinosaur and the object obstacle. When this happens, a global is going to be set. This global is going to be called game over. Set it to true. And also, if the replay object doesn't exist, it's going to go ahead and create that layer. I need layer, not depth, at the center of the screen. So this is room width divided by 2 and room height divided by 2. The layer is the instances layer and the object is object replay. Now if our player collides with an obstacle, we want him to freeze frame in midair as done in the Google game. So in our step event, above all of these scripts, I'm going to say if global game over, then I want to set gravity to 0. I want to set the global speed modifier to 0. So we haven't actually altered the global speed modifier other than this one time, because I believe in the create event of our controller we just set it to 1. So there we go, normal speed, and here we go, things are freezing, or whatever we're going to be using the speed modifier for in future is going to be using that on 0. Our image speed is 0. Our sprite index is now, sprite index is now SPR Dino dead, and I'm going to say exit. Cool. So if it's game over, it's going to set these properties, and then it's not going to run any of these scripts. Oh, I think I nuked my image speed here. Very good. Next, let's head into Object Controller, and I want to draw GUI event. So draw GUI, and this is going to say if global dot game over, then draw sprite, and what's the first one? The sprite SPR game over, and subimage is 0, room width divided by 2, room height divided by 2, and that's it. Save that, and let's go check out our alarms. This one creates the obstacles, alarm 1 creates the clouds. Okay, cool. So alarm 0, we're going to say if this is game over, then simply exit. So finish creating what you wanted to create, but don't create another one. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to the cloud, alarm and do the exact same thing. So create what you want to create in this event, but don't create another one because it's going to exit out of this event, which means alarm 1 will never be called because it's calling itself in sort of like a loop. Next, let's go to our game world and make sure that we're initializing the game over variable. Here we go. Global game over equals false. Now, thinking about what we put in the dinosaurs step event, I'm thinking we can actually move some of these out. Let's say that if it's game over, just exit. Yeah, that might be a bit better. Let's exit like that, and the obstacle can actually go and set all of this magical information like that. Sweet. Let's save. Exit the room over there. Let's run and see what happens. Now remember that speed modifier over here setting to 0? This freezes everything moving because the obstacle itself uses this. Speed times 0 is going to be 0. Okay, so this says that it doesn't know what... Oh, global game over. Yeah, that's me being dumb. There we go. Save, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we can jump. We haven't broken the mechanics just yet. Let's see. Let's try to just run straight into a cactus. Boom. Ah, there we go. So it says game over. This is kind of too centered, and the ground still seems to be kind of skitting around. So we need to stop that from doing. This is probably the move wrap, perhaps. But if I click this, it does restart. And let's see if I can jump into a pterodactyl just to be 100% sure that it's working across all obstacles. Come on, pterodactyl, where are you? There's one. Alright, cool. Looks good. These guys are still flapping about. Let's see. Maybe we can stop that from happening. And the ground. Okie dokie then. So let's set... So let's go to object dino. Let's see what we got. Your obstacle is going to create object replay. Actually change its height and increase it by, let's say 50 pixels. So it's going to be slightly lower under the game over graphic, which is quite cool. Then the ground over here, let's see what we got. Yeah, we're not actually changing all of these things. I'm going to say that if global dot game over, it keeps auto-completing, that's why I made the mistake last time. Then simply just exit from here. That'll stop the ground from going all funky. Alright, still haven't broken anything. Let us collide. Boom. Okay, cool. So the ground isn't going funky. The restart button is below game over. We can actually scoot it down a little bit more. Pterodactyl still flapping. Do we want that? Probably not. We can say that when the dinosaur collides with the obstacle, I'm also going to say here, with object obstacle, image speed, whoops, equals 0. Cool. So that'll stop flapping. It'll basically say every obstacle in the game world in existence, you're now not going to be cycling through your sub-images. Very good. And they're all freeze framed, waiting for us to do something. So that about wraps up this part. It was actually quite simple to do. So hope you found this tutorial educational and helpful. Next up, we're going to be showing the user his score and also increasing that score as time goes by. If you want to see more videos just like this, please check out my Patreon campaign. I do appreciate your support. Project files for this solution can be found in the description. If you want me to tackle any more funky things as we go along creating this infinite scrolling game, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe for more of the very best GameMaker tutorials. And until next time, happy coding, and I'll see you then.